So that's what I want to emphasize. It's not that her waistline is not a 20 inches. I'm not saying that. It's all of the things, not just her waist.
Oh, wow. Because when you said, I take pride in my 20-inch waist, and I was like, yes.
I worked hard for this. I get up every day. I go to the gym for 2 hours.
Come on.
I was on the Stairmaster for an hour and 40 minutes today.
Tell him.
But I put in the work. I don't eat after 8 o'clock.
Oh, we about to have a great conversation here today. Guys, do you remember the conversation, or rather the viral story, I want to say it was about a month to 6 weeks ago, of the statue, the stout, big-backed black woman statue that went up in New York City, right? It was on one side of the internet being declared as an absolute abhorrent example of the depiction of a black woman. And on the other side of the internet, they found solace that finally their image gets represented. Well, the content that I have for you here today is a lovely young woman that called in to content creator Ashley Dalton's show, where she attempts to upgrade or transform the women that are calling in. Nevertheless, this young woman crashed out, right? She went off on Ashley because Ashley does not agree that the statue was a good depiction of a black woman. So we are going to go over it within this conversation because I find these conversations oh so fascinating to watch the degree of cope as people irrationally try to defend something that they have no business in defending. Without further ado.
Hi, Ashley.
Hi, Soul.
Hi, how are you? It's my first time on.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay.
So
hold on. Let me ask you this first. Do you consent to be on a live and potentially all platforms?
Yes, I do.
All right.
So, here's my different opinion to you, because I saw your video. It was the first video I saw when I opened the app, and I'll be honest, it hurt my feelings. Okay?
Your feelings got hurt.
I knew that wasn't your intention, and I know that you always try to speak positivity into women, and I listened and I thought about it and I understood where you were coming from, right? So I also did some research, and the reason the statue was implemented is it's actually a temporary exhibition. So it's not going to be there permanently.
It's still there.
And it's made to represent the average woman, right? And it's actually supposed to challenge us, because sometimes we think that when we go for pictures and for statues, we're supposed to be looking glamorous and we're supposed to have everything done up to the nines. And I agree 100%, but this is not what this is trying to portray. This is trying to just portray someone running for groceries, someone walking to the mailbox. It is the average woman in motion. And that's why I'm saying, if this is the case, why are we so upset about it? Like,
and may I also ask you, sorry to interrupt.
Hold on.
But may I also ask
the crash out about to happen in a quick second, but I find it so interesting, the degree of cope, right? So you researched it and you found out that it was meant to challenge. Now, most people that will look at that image would say, maybe it's a challenge that we shouldn't be portraying ourselves like this, or eating to an extent to look like this, or being portrayed or perceived as having an attitude in statue form. But instead, you summarize the challenge as a way to look more like how you do on the right side of the screen, as opposed to the image of the woman on the left side of the screen. I agree that it's a wake-up call, but you're forcing the wake-up call in no account. And I'm not just talking about facial symmetry here. I'm talking about the effort that it took before displaying your image. I mean, we can see your bra straps. And the last time that you saw Jim, no offense, was Jim from accounting. If in fact people are taking the statue as to mean average woman in motion, then I think most should look at it and take offense, if not want change, but instead you utilize it to be more lazy. Let's go.
What about the average girl who runs to the mailbox or to the grocery store who has kids, and she puts herself together? And she's no celebrity,
Uh-oh.
but she enjoys being glamorous as well. What about her? That
I
average
think
girl, you know?
I for sure think that she needs to be represented as well, 100%. But that is not who was being represented, and that's why I'm saying we could respect both. I'm really hearing some hot takes like she looks disgusting, she's this, she's that, and I'm like, just because she got on a t-shirt and leggings, like who has never worn a t-shirt and leggings before, right? And that's why I'm saying I think as women, and what really hurt me was Anne said that she doesn't look feminine. Feminine is not how you look, it's your spirit.
That's not
So
true.
you could always be feminine, not because I'm
Nope.
not dolled up right now, I'm not wearing an ounce of makeup. You cannot come and challenge my femininity because that's who I am. So it's
Bullshit.
challenge.
Bullshit, man. Listen, femininity, masculinity, it absolutely can have a component of a look. Case in point, a man wearing high heel shoes and lipstick. That's a component of his image. Would you say that that's a masculine thing for him to do? Is that masculine criteria or more feminine? Your image absolutely is one of the many factors into demonstrating masculine or feminine. You're absolutely categorically wrong.
Our concepts of beauty, and there's beauty in both, because you look beautiful, Ashley, and I look beautiful.
Them two is not the same,
right?
baby girl.
We're gonna be beautiful regardless as women, and I think we need.
It amazes me how often women seek out equality, even though they understand that the results that they're getting are markedly different. Let's see how Ashley responds.
Be nicer to each other. Sometimes I'm running out the house to drop my sister at work.
Very professionally.
And I don't look put together. And sometimes I am dressed to the nines. So.
And may I also ask you this? Because at the start you said, Ash, it hurt my feelings when you opened the app and you saw the video. So I want to ask, what part of it hurt you? Like, what part of it made you feel like hurt?
So it was basically when you were saying like that she wasn't a representation of women because you were used to women looking a certain way.
Yeah,
and
I said the woman I know. That's what I said for sure. Right. Yeah.
But I'm saying when I open my eyes, I see women express themselves in so many different ways. So how could you? So is it that you don't see me?
No, I said the woman that I know. The women that I know, how they show up in the world. They show up in the world dignified. They show up in the world put together. They put pride in their appearance. That's just the woman that I know.
So you don't think
not
that
a specific size, but they have their hair done. They put their makeup on. They put their gloss on. They put their nice shoes on, whatever shoe that is, whatever sneaker that is, whatever outfit that is. That's the way I was raised.
Okay, but can I also challenge you that someone could do the same? You could still take pride in your appearance if you don't want to put makeup on for the day. It's okay to not wear makeup every day, right?
Yeah, but I didn't just say makeup. I said makeup, outfit, and how they take care of themselves.
Right.
And makeup doesn't mean a full beat, right? They could have skin tint. They could have gloss. They could have mascara. That doesn't mean they're caked up. No.
Yeah, but that was the purpose of the statue. It's to challenge our perception because, like I said, we're used to seeing these statues of these momentous occasions and these well-posed statues. It's supposed to be this. It's like an unexpected how you call these things where you just take a picture of someone and they're not posing. That's the purpose of it.
Candid.
So I think it was a beautiful installation. This is a real woman. I think that to pose for something like this, you have to be incredibly brave, especially not conforming to, the beauty standards of today. So I applaud the woman who did that. And I appreciate seeing someone who looks like me because I am full figured and not all statues. And I'm not always going to have on my waist trainer and my Skims and give myself the hourglass figure. Sometimes I'm going to look like that.
But it's not only the weight, and I wanna emphasize that because I think everyone's just stuck on the weight. It's all of who she is. I'm not just saying weight. I'm not stopping there. I'm saying how she puts herself together. They could have put a purse in her hand. She could have been in a nice dress. She could have had her chin up and her back.
It's the whole
straight.
image.
She could have had a little bit of lipstick on to represent who we are in the Black diaspora.
She ain't gonna double click on weight, but I absolutely will. But this is why I say we have to bring back standards, because it's not just about the vanity and that being tied to someone's weight, but it's also about health, wellness, and longevity, right? The amount of years that you have left. Being 372 pounds is not empowering. It's not good for your heart. It's not good for your knees. It's not good for any of your organs or your future. We have confused this body positivity with body denial, denying your state in reality, glamorizing unhealthiness, unhealthy lifestyles instead of promoting getting yourself together, doing cardio, doing exercises, promoting strength. Because when you start to do all those things, you're promoting self-respect and real self-care. For example, and I don't know this specifically, but I'd argue that Ashley on the left has a strict diet and workout regimen. And I bet you that she's faithful in the upkeep of her body, the upkeep of her image. Whereas the woman on the right absolutely doesn't. And it doesn't come from not having enough money for a gym membership, but probably also comes from an inability to control the surplus of calories entering her body and too many entertainment activities that she prioritizes over getting in the damn gym. But instead of attacking these conversations logically, she attacks them with her emotions because she sees herself in that rotund statue. And I don't sugarcoat ish over here, but you can see Ashley has to sugarcoat things because then the women would no longer call in because they feel judged. But ma'am, weight absolutely has something to do with it. And in fact, it's a lot to do with this. To have women of your culture represented like that, culturally, socially, globally, and that woman, it's time for change. And it's not about shaming, it's about reality.
I have half of my family is from the Caribbean. My Caribbean aunties, they put themselves together. They put on a good Michael Kors bag when they left the house. Okay, they did their wash and set. They put on their nice earrings and their nice jewels. That's what I remember. On the other side of my family, they're from the South. They're dignified women. They don't leave the house without makeup, hair done, nails on, no matter what the size they are. So that's what I want to emphasize. It's not that her waistline is not a 20 inches. I'm not saying that. It's all of the things, not just her weight.
Okay. Well, it's both, and that comment was also what was like, oh wow, because when you said I take pride in my 20-inch waist, and I was like, yes,
I worked hard for this.
yeah,
I get up every day. I go to the gym for 2 hours.
Come on.
I was on the
Tell 'em.
Stairmaster for an hour and 40 minutes today.
Tell them.
but
I put in the
also
work.
believe-
I don't eat after 8 o'clock. I don't
I
make
know.
excuses for myself. So when I say these things, it's not to, be vain or try to comfort anyone. No,
Talk about
I
it.
take pride in myself.
Come
I
on.
get up every morning and do it when I don't want to do it.
Right,
So
but
that's why I
can
said
we
that.
also agree, because I know you've said this before, that we can love ourselves both at 20 inches and at 40 inches.
Come
and I
on.
think this woman was just showing love at 40 inches, and she
Right.
was showing comfort, and that's okay for us to see beauty in the unconventional way. That's what I'm trying to say.
You can love yourself all that you want at whatever inches, but then I would ask to you, what results are you getting out of your life? When I was back in grad school, right, I went to grad school in upstate New York. We used to take trips up to Toronto, Canada. One of the many reasons that we continuously went up there is because the amount of beautiful women per capita in Toronto is absolutely insane, to the point of I'm just like, why is there so much more beautiful women out here? And the reason why is because they're skinnier. There is an obesity problem in Canada. It is not an obesity epidemic like it is here in the United States. How often have you guys seen on the IGs transformations from beyond too thick, super thick women, and then they lost like a solid 76 pounds, and then you're like, damn, who was like in the face is completely changed. But 100% of the time, if they went from morbidly obese to normal BMI to maybe a little bit overweight, they go up like 2 or 3 points. So believe all of that affirmation, love yourself stuff. But then my question is your results. There's a reason that Ashley puts all of this work into herself, and it's because she wants better results.
Right, but I don't want y'all to think about it's just about the weight. That's what I keep hearing, the weight, the waistline. It's not just that. You know, I don't even think I mentioned her weight. I just said my 20-inch waist. I didn't say anything about her weight, if I'm being honest.
Well, when you introduced that, and that was like your opening, one of your opening lines in the video, it's
Mhm.
natural for us to position
Hurt
it
your feelings.
against the statue. So yes, you didn't compare it directly, but by mentioning it, that's what came to mind.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So yeah, but I would. Are you doing level up advice later?
Maybe.
Now the young lady leaves, but then she calls back in later because she had some unfinished business.
So, so, what is going? So,
Actually,
so,
you know I be in the comments. You know I
so.
be in the comments. I'm
Okay,
not
so
You
looking
need
you
to
for
be
want
on a
drama.
treadmill,
Soul
baby.
want drama.
no.
Now you
I'm not.
saying, girl, you want the drama. What's up, Soul? Tell me what's going on.
I don't want the drama. I was just seeking clarification. It wasn't for you. It was for the previous viewer that said that like the statue wasn't beautiful. So that's why I'm like, what's not beautiful about it? That's a genuine question. I'm genuinely asking. Sorry.
And let me ask you, Solely. Solely, how are you
Mhm.
doing? How's the life?
Soleil.
How are you
Soleil.
doing? Hmm?
My name is Soleil.
Soleil. Excuse me,
Yes,
sorry. Soleil.
it's okay.
How's everything going, Soleil?
Everything's great, to be honest. I'm in bed, relaxing.
All right. Life is okay. Things are running smoothly.
Life's great. I just graduated.
Oh,
So I just got my
congratulations.
master's in accounting. Thank
Oh,
you.
excuse me.
Yes.
Beauty and brains. Did we celebrate?
Yes, we did. We
All
had
right.
our hair done, our makeup done,
I was gonna
our
ask a
girdle
party. I
done.
wasn't even talking about makeup in here. I was like, did you celebrate, have a party
Yes,
with the
we
I
family?
like
did.
what she's
Okay.
doing.
We
She's
did.
All
Mm-hmm.
right. Fair enough.
slowing it down.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's nice to see you again.
Yes. Thank you. Take care,
Hmm.
guys.
You're welcome.
She
Bye.
didn't even
Hold
answer the
on.
question.
1 second, Ashley.
Ah,
Everyone keeps saying, why am I talking about your 20-inch waist? Could you please let them know that you said it in the video and we were just talking about it? I'm not attacking her waist, guys.
But the thing is, I guess it's what we choose to focus on, right? So 100 people can watch a video and someone else may not focus on the 20-inch waist. Someone else may
Right.
focus on the images from Harlem or seeing Diana Ross and Diane Carroll on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about, I guess, what you focused on specifically. Not that you
I
had an
think I
issue.
had a bias, to be honest, because I saw a video that was really berating the woman. Like most of the videos, I haven't seen one positive video about it, and
Mhm.
most of them were attacking her because of the way she looked. So then when I saw your video as well,
Mhm.
talking about it. So I can admit I'm mature enough to say that I had a bias towards it. So I'm not attacking you. Everyone thinks I'm attacking you. Ashley,
I
I'll be
don't,
in the comments
but I don't feel
all the
attacked.
time.
I'm from New York, okay, born and
hmm
bred. Like I don't feel attacked, honey. No, yeah.
Someone said I need a neck. I have one, honey. I'm just sitting here like this. Yeah. Okay. Good night.
So late. Good night, honey bun. Have a good night.
whoa.
Yeah, I don't feel attacked, babes. And I'm gonna be honest. I did that little video about going out. When I did the whole solo outing and I said I may want to do a party. This be my hesitation right here.
Yeah, I
For
feel her.
meetups, let's do a girls brunch, Ashley. Ashley, get a
Yup.
section. Ashley, do a party. Because I don't know who like me for real.
Right.
I don't know who like me for
That's a
real.
great
And that's,
point.
I'm from New York. I ain't got time. I don't. Child, I don't know. Let
Yeah.
me just stay in my little corner. Cause
Yeah.
some people, this is not to Soleil, but some people, even anyone who's a creator here understands no
Yeah.
matter how small or large your platform is, you don't know
You
who
don't
likes
know.
you, who
Yeah.
follows you, who just watches
Just
you to
yeah.
watch you. I don't know. And that to me is a little
Disconcerting.
unsettling,
Yeah.
to imagine to be partying with someone
And you
or
don't know.
inviting someone to a brunch and you don't know if they really like you or genuinely want to be around you. I don't know. So that has been my hesitation, if I'm being honest with you guys.
Or if they're trying to get to know you so they can try to expose you later. They want to find out some things about your life, right? They want to come out to this to see how you move there. You know, and it's actually been a component of my concern as well. I mean, I've done one meetup so far for the gentlemen that are down in the MT Army. We went up walking, hiking up this mountain, and I thought, you know, that was dope. But at the time, I still had someone in the crew with a ratchet on them just in case. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was still thinking through. And that's why, you know, also too, even in going out nowadays, and, you know, someone will walk by me and I'm like thinking to myself, are they looking at me because they recognize me, or are they looking at me because they want to say something to me positively, or they want to say something to me negatively? With all that being said, I've never really had like a negative interaction in public. But then it was also recently that news in regards to the YouTubers that one shot the other one on the Las Vegas Strip. And it's like ridiculous to think about because, you know, they both between them have like 12,000 subscribers or something extremely low. And one of the dudes was ready to crash out and to take the other YouTuber's life and his wife's life, and then essentially, inevitably, his own life by the prison sentence that he's going to get. It's just like, you just never know, right? That's why I don't go out my way to start, you know, beef. And I understand, like, as a content creator, it can pay to have a digital enemy, right? Sparring back and forth. But sometimes what can happen is that the other person doesn't understand that essentially you're asking them to be a business partner for a short amount of time, and then they could take it a lot more seriously than what is necessary. Anyway, shout out to Ashley Dalton. I'll leave a link to this video down in the description box down below. There was a whole live stream that was done, and I like this particular portion, so I wanted to get after it. But to conclude, specific to the conversation, this has been the first person that I've seen on the internet writing for the statue. And then after hearing her articulate her points and positions, it proves even more so that those that support it do so due to irrational beliefs, or do so due to their own inherent biases, right? They were looking at an image of someone that represented them. But that's where I'm gonna leave this conversation here today. Guys, drop me your comments, thoughts down in the comment box down below. Let's have a conversation about this. And last but not least, I'll see you guys soon. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.
She belongs to the street.
Girl, don't hold my hand. You a mattress actress on the OnlyFans. Get your money, girl, but damn, how is that your only plan? What you gonna do when you get too old to strip and dance? Get up out your echo chamber screaming period and yes. You a low down dirty woman if you try to get knocked up by a high value man.